Hi everyone, I'm Lauren D'Amelio Ventre. I have been in this industry for over 16 years and I'm super excited to be talking to you guys a little bit more today about pregnancy and as a working artist, how you should go about talking to your clients, especially if you are a bridal makeup artist and book your clients really super far in advance, a year, 2 years in advance, some of you, maybe even less, but sometimes you don't know that you're going to be pregnant a year in advance or 2 years in advance. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about something that's came up recently in my career, kind of over the past 3 years. I am now on to my second pregnancy. I am about 37 weeks pregnant, so little baby Ventre is gonna be here any day now. But with my son, he was a little bit more of a surprise. She was planned. So I want to kind of talk to you through kind of my life and my experience as being a celebrity and bridal makeup artist and getting pregnant throughout both, because that is a question that I do get asked a pretty good amount once people start, planning their families or not even being able to plan it out. So I have both versions for you. So I'm gonna get kind of more personal in this video. I'm gonna talk about my experiences. I'm gonna give you the highs and lows about it. Obviously, having a baby is a beautiful thing, right? But especially in this industry, if you're booking yourself out a year, 2 years in advance, even just 9 months in advance, right? Because pregnancy isn't always planned. So I got pregnant with my son, Sal. I still call him baby Sal. He's 3.5 years old, so I gotta stop. But he is my baby. We got pregnant about 3 months prior to our wedding, so it was a complete surprise. We got married in Napa Valley, California on a vineyard, so was not planned, but very, very happy that we were able to have him, and he is like the best blessing of our lives. But that being said, all of my brides in 9 months from then, I had to reach out to, I had to talk to, because those brides were already booked. I wasn't planning it. I wasn't even a thought in my head at that moment because I'm planning a wedding. We're going on honeymoon to Greece. So we found out in July, our wedding was in August. We got pregnant in June apparently. So I didn't say anything to anyone really, even like very close family knew when we first found out, but I didn't announce it to the world because you're still not in that safe zone until after about 12 weeks. So 12 weeks was exactly my wedding day. We were actually able to do our gender reveal in Napa, which was really, really cool on our wedding day. Apparently we didn't tell all of our guests that we were pregnant. Apparently I wasn't really showing yet. So it was a surprise to some of them, but it was really cool. We lit up the vineyards all blue when we found out that baby Sal was gonna be a boy. That being said, that was so much fun, so many cool emotions. But I also had the other emotions of, oh my God, what am I gonna tell my clients? What are they going to say? How are they going to take it? Once we know this is a safe pregnancy, how do we go about it? And I was getting mixed reviews from artists who were pregnant that I knew, who had had babies in the past. I've had people say, don't say anything to them, or tell them right away. So I was really in this tough spot where I didn't know which way to go. It made it really hard for me because at that point was working in the bridal industry for about 13 years and I've never had to cancel on anyone. I've spent nights in the hospital and still showed up to work. Like there is no showing up when you're in the bridal industry, right? Like this is someone's biggest day of their lives. Like they don't care if you got in an accident, if you broke your ankle the day before, if anything, you are showing up to this client. You take a Dayquil, you self-medicate, get over there, they don't care. They want you there and it is the biggest day of their lives. So short and sweet or short and simple, I had to come up with how I'm going to talk to these people. Thank God it was, baby Sal's due date was actually end of February, which was supposed to be a leap year day. And I always say, be careful for what you pray for because it might come true. I prayed, oh God, please don't let him be born on the leap year day. I want him to have a birthday every year. We found out at 20 weeks that I had vasa previa, which made me need to have a scheduled C-section 5 weeks before his due date and go into the hospital 4 weeks prior to that. So that was a good 2 full months that was fully unaccounted for, that I would have to now cancel all of my January And I actually was able to make it to two of my February brides after he was born. So it worked out for them because I wouldn't have been able to go to them if his due date was still in February. So in January, his due date was January 23rd, 2020. And so I knew that from 20 weeks on. So I had that plan. I was able to reach out to my brides at that point. I really only had to cancel fully on my brides in January. Again, on the East Coast, in New Jersey, New York area, before COVID, before the pandemic, really wasn't a big, crazy month, thank God. So it wasn't like I was canceling people in our busy season, but this is still a huge day for the people who were getting married. Thankfully, it was still, when was 20 weeks? Around September. So I still had a good 4 months prior to anyone's wedding. I wasn't reaching out to them super last minute, but 4 months is 4 months to people who have booked out a year to 2 years in advance. It's still last minute. So majority of my clients were very, very nice about it, very understanding. But I did have that one client that was just a huge nightmare. And how we reached out was obviously letting them know that we were pregnant. They did also know prior because when I did announce and do the gender reveal at my wedding, one of my planners actually posted it on their story. So I had to also talk about it and release that I was pregnant to the public. And so that my brides didn't freak out, I had to send out, hey, I'm pregnant. This will not affect your wedding date, or this will affect your wedding date, and these are the steps that we're going to take. Our options were, hey, I'm pregnant. This does not affect your wedding date at all. If you don't feel comfortable, we totally get it. Here is what I'm supposed to be due. Here is blah, 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 blah. Here are your options. You can either keep me on, we can have a backup from our team that she will be at your trial watching every step that I do, or she could do half of your face while I do the other half so that you feel super comfortable with the artist that you have that day. Or we can terminate the contract and you can move on and book out another artist, which I will personally help you reach out to the artist that you want and use my connections to ensure you get the artist that you truly want on your big day if it can't be me. So when we had to do that for a second round, at 20 weeks, when we found out about the vasa previa, there was one bride in particular who was just really very unhappy. How could you not know this could happen? I can't believe that you're doing this. And again, this was in September. Her wedding was towards the end of January. So we did give her still a good amount. It wasn't like the week of, it wasn't the day before. And we did give her options. Hey, I will do a trial with an artist from the team. We will work side by side, or you could just choose someone from the team and they can do your trial. I will pay for the trial. I will pay my artist to come do your trial. Don't you worry. Nothing was good enough, right? Nothing was good enough for her. It was just, I'm the most terrible person for getting pregnant, having vasa previa, something that I was not able to control, and it really, really hurt me. Like, it really tore me down because my entire life, my entire career up to that point, I did everything for my clients. No matter what, I missed birthdays, holidays, my family events, I missed Easters, like every holiday, I would just go out of my way and always go above and beyond for my clients. So when this client took it so personally towards her, almost as if it was a bad thing that I was pregnant and now had a complication in my pregnancy, it really hurt. And I'm not gonna get emotional, but it was not fun. And you will have those clients that don't support you having a child or not being happy for you. Even if you do give them months and months in advance and have many options for them, they still will somehow try to, make it about them, and it is their big day, and I get that, but this is also a blessing. You're bringing life into the world, and you need to be in a good headspace the whole time. So giving options is always the best thing, and knowing that not every single client is going to be super supportive. Again, 99.9% of my clients were so happy, so supportive, so loving, caring. Thank God it was January, February months, and then we went right into the pandemic after we had baby Sal, so I didn't really have to worry about how I'm going to handle a newborn and also work. I did go back to work. I did take a few clients end of February until we went into lockdown. So I was able to see what life was like working on those few clients, but really getting back into the full swing of things obviously didn't happen until later on 2020, 2021. And I was able to adjust that way. But now this time around with this second pregnancy, I am now having a baby girl in approximately 2 weeks. So I'm running low on breath. I'm so sorry, gasping for air. Everything gets harder. I didn't make it to this point in my pregnancy last time. I didn't go through a lot of the feelings that I went through with this one, having a girl versus a boy. My last pregnancy, I literally didn't feel like, yes, the vasa previa was a terrible thing to experience. It was very stressful, but my body did much better having a boy than having a girl. No sickness with baby Sal. I felt more energy than anything. I was always very calm. Like I had this very calm demeanor about me. And with this baby, with my baby girl, my hormones are all over the place. Sickness, dizziness, tiredness, and I didn't make it to this point in my pregnancy with baby Sal because I was only about 35 weeks when we had him. And again, now I'm surpassed by 2 weeks. I'm feeling everything and I'm like, why did no one tell me last time in my pregnancy, like, you're tired, you're dizzy, you're nauseous, you're hungry, you can't be on your feet that long. You might have Braxton Hicks or back labor, which is like this crazy pain that you get randomly, literally cripples you. So knowing what is coming during a pregnancy, especially as an independent artist, giving yourself that time and planning the time to have for yourself, especially if it is a surprise or planned, no matter what, contacting your brides in that last month of pregnancy, letting them know what's going on. And then obviously the month after you should be taking off as well because you need that time with your newborn. Just like if you had a corporate job, having a maternity leave is very, very, very important. When it comes to your body, your health, your family, your child's health, you need to have that time. And I think it's very hard for a lot of us to take a step back from, even right now, like making content, doing classes, taking clients. I still have 2 more brides. I still have 2 more brides left and I still have master classes that I'm doing. And it's getting harder and harder to be excited and to be happy and to want to get up and like run around instead of like nesting. Essentially, you're really getting ready for your child at this point in the pregnancy and you get anxious about everything. And I'm trying to be as transparent as I possibly can because I think that this will help a lot of people in our industry, no matter if you're a makeup artist or a hairstylist or just any kind of vendor in this wedding industry. You need to give yourself time and you need to really make yourself a priority. This is a time that you will never get back in your life. This is a time that is really, really sentimental, and if you blink, it goes by really fast. Even having baby Sal, he's again 3.5 now, almost 3.5, and like that time has just went by so fast. Taking the time out to really get yourself ready, mentally, physically, having your spaces ready because you don't know if you're gonna go early, and having these disclosures, which I will talk about, and I'm gonna have like a little giveaway in this video that you could click on, just like how to verbally write it or have it written down in contracts or in your emails, just to help you kind of put it out there so it's not as awkward for you and you don't feel bad for something so exciting and so amazing. But what was I saying? I don't even remember what I was saying. But that's another thing. You kind of slowly lose your mind during pregnancy. So writing everything down is very important. I'm sorry if I'm all over the place, but this is literally how my brain's working at this point. Giving yourself that time, nesting, having the month before your due date off or as free as possible, maybe just taking a few little things. And those things that you do take, your clients need to know that there is a chance that you will not be able to be there, whether it you being sick, nauseous, going into labor early, because that's a thing, having something like vasa previa where you have to be hospitalized early, just being very transparent and translucent with your client is so important because that is going to be, how they take you as a professional. You are still human, you are not a robot, and things happen. This is just life in general. So having these conversations with your clients leading up to the birth of your child. I don't agree with not telling them and just hiding a pregnancy, because again, you never want to be that artist or that stylist that's canceling on them the day of or the night before because maybe you are going into labor or something crazy is happening or you're not feeling well. So you don't want to be that artist, that professional vendor. It's better for them to have that backup plan and for them to make that decision. This is a huge day in their life, so making sure that they know they have options is the better thing that you should be doing. A month before, I really recommend doing the least possible, giving yourself that time to mentally, physically prepare, nest, and then a month after, at least a month after. You know, if you worked corporate, you're getting at least 8 weeks home with your baby, and you're gonna want that. You're gonna want that time. If you're anything like me and you love to work, you also might go a little stir crazy. But you're going to want those moments. You're not gonna wanna miss any of like the little first, like the first laughs or like the smiles or, you know, their first bath or like, obviously when they're so little, they're not walking yet, but there's so many little things that they're doing when they're so little that you're gonna wanna be able to take those memories in. I don't know, I don't care how much you might charge. It might be a few hundred, it might be a few thousand, but no amount of money is worth missing out on those memories, because those are things that you'll never get back. Going back and having a plan is very important. Also, being able to create as much content while you can, while you're pregnant, so that you can still post and you can still feel relevant during your maternity leave, so that you don't feel like you're just completely gone. I think that's another important thing, is to really get that content, have a little vault saved of like an arsenal of, you know, content that you could be sprinkling throughout the weeks that you are away, or even being able just to be personal with your following and just being like, hey, I have a baby, like posting little things that you're comfortable with. That will also help keep you sane. You know, taking classes maybe virtually while you are on maternity leave. They do sleep a lot when they're little. I don't know how I'm gonna handle it this time with a toddler and a newborn, so I probably won't have as much time to like, you know, be posting as much and also taking as many classes as I did last time, but I do think that does help pass the time, and if you could get on a really good schedule, or if you have help, or if maybe the toddler's in school. They do sleep a lot when they're new and all they want to do is eat, and you got to change them. Again, just making sure you give yourself that time, that headspace. I think a lot of people get overwhelmed when it comes to having children. They think that they need to rush right back. But again, having a plan, going back maybe give yourself at least that month to 2 months completely off. So you're not thinking in the back of your head while trying to take care of a baby, oh my God, I have to go back to work tomorrow or next week, or how am I gonna do this? It just gives you that time for your body to recover, for you to adjust to mom life, to not sleeping very much, because you won't for the first 2 to 3 months. That's another thing. I feel like no one really tells you about how much your life really changes. And obviously you could read these baby books, and even going to the hospital, and like when you leave, they just kind of like, here's your baby. You gotta like kind of get used to things on your own. So a lot of things aren't super easy, and some things are really hard. Some days are really hard. Sometimes you won't be able to brush your teeth until maybe someone kind of gets home to like help you with the baby, and like you might go a little crazy, and that's okay. People, don't hold yourself to other people's standards. Maybe you see other moms making content or working right away, but don't put yourself down because maybe you're not that person yet. But again, make a plan to go back. If that's what you want to do, have that plan and have those clients in place. Maybe you're only taking 1 a week, getting back into it, 1 client a week. Maybe you're taking only like a trial and a wedding a week. Whatever you feel might be comfortable for you. Maybe you want to only work 2 days a week, but you're taking 2 brides on that one day that maybe it's a Saturday that you choose, okay, I'll take 2 brides that day, so that I'm only away for 1 day, but I'm making a good amount of money doing it. Whatever makes you comfortable, and then easing back into it. Once you get into that rhythm, once they're sleeping through the night, once you know you get adjusted to mom life, and you and your partner, or whatever your circumstance might be, whenever you get back into that rhythm, it makes life a lot easier. There's less pressure, and you will do a much better job working if you're in that better headspace. Since this baby was planned, I made sure from about 1.5 years ago to start letting clients know, hey, I'm planning on getting pregnant in 2023. We don't know a day, we don't know a month. Whenever it happens, because you can't always plan it out. You don't always get pregnant super easily. It could take months, it could take years. And I didn't know if it was gonna happen right away or later on. So we luckily did get pregnant pretty quickly. And what I said to my back-end team, if you don't have assistants doing your emails, obviously will be doing this yourself, but sending out an email to anyone that inquired in 2023. When they reached out, from the moment they reached out, we said, hey, Lauren is planning on trying to have a baby in 2023. If you want to book, we are only taking 1 to 2 brides a month. So, take it or leave it kind of thing. We didn't say take it or leave it, but we made it very clear. We're only taking 1 to 2 brides a month. She is planning on getting pregnant. We don't know when it's going to happen. Hopefully it does, staying very positive and hopeful for the pregnancy so that they know this is something that I want it. And also knowing we will have a backup for you if it happens to land right around your day, your month. These are your options. If you do decide to book, here are your options, because we want them to know all of that before they even try to book. We want them to know, hey, if she's due the month of your wedding, here are the options. If she can't make it, we will do a trial with another artist on the team, or you can terminate your contract with her and she will personally help you get the artist that you want. And I think that made a lot of people very comfortable with booking for the year. And again, I took very minimal clients because I did not want to have to go through the process of canceling on people. And I made it so clear from the start, from literally their initial email to the very last email that we've ever sent to them, how clear we were was so important, because we had zero backlash. We had no backlash when we said, hey, Lauren's due in June. Thankfully, I only have one June 3rd and then June 11th. So my due date's not till June 21st. Originally it was the 26th, so now it's the 21st. I'm still planning on being there for both of them, but I was able to communicate with them and say, hey, I'm planning on being there. They both had their trials. They both had the option of having someone there during their trial, so that if I'm not able to be there, the other artist can step in. Neither of them decided to cancel with our team and will proceed with a team member if I'm not physically able to be there. And another thing that really worked out for us in July is that I don't book myself holiday weekends, so July 4th was out of the question anyway, and we didn't have another bride booked till, I believe it's the 3rd week and 4th week of July. So I still have about 3-4 weeks to recover after having my baby. So it worked out, and I'm going to still take them. They are aware that if there are any complications or anything happens, that we would be willing to send a team member. So just being very clear, very open, very honest is going to be your best bet. And I know I've said it over and over and over again, but it really is so true. You want to be transparent, you want to be a human about it, and you want to let them know this is a really happy time for you and your family, or let your assistants know to make it very clear, this is very happy, this is exciting for you guys. You don't want to put it down. Don't be like, oh, unfortunately she's pregnant. No, we have exciting news. Lauren is pregnant. We just wanted to let you know before going through the booking process. And that is the best way to do it if you're planning on planning your child. Just letting any bride know that's booking out for that month prior to them booking, give them a heads up, let them know the rundown, and let them be super comfortable before signing a contract and sending a deposit in. Again, I will attach verbiage to this video for you guys to check out, maybe add into your contracts, maybe even add it into your away messages if that's something that you're planning for an upcoming year. When people email in, it could be an away message right away. Hey, if you're inquiring for this for 2024, we are planning on getting pregnant. And that will just eliminate a lot of the back and forth and then people just bailing or ghosting you. And you really only work with the people who really, really want to work with you and really value your time and energy. Yeah, so I hope this helps. Again, as a working artist, I love what I do, so I'm still obviously on set right now recording this video. I want to help as many people as I can, and I have over the past 16 years, literally over half of my life in this industry, been able to educate thousands of makeup artists from around the world, and this is what I love to do. So if you're passionate about working and need to get back to work, don't let anyone make you feel bad about working either. That's another mom shame type of thing that I've had in the past, is either from other mothers, oh, you work so much still, or I can't believe how you travel so much and you have a baby. you are your own person and you are your own mother. You need to do what makes you happy and what works best for your family. I am making sure that my son has the best life possible, and my daughter will also have the best life possible, and I will do everything in my power to always provide. Me and my husband work very hard and hopefully won't have to do so when they are a little bit older and can spend a lot more time together. But on my days off, that is all I do, is spend time with my family. I put my phone down. My friends, my family, people will tell you, if you try to text me, I am not answering. I'm the worst texter. If there's an emergency, people call me. But when it's family time, it's family time. So maybe I work really hard 4 or 5 days out of the week, but at 5 o'clock or whenever I get home, everything's shut off, and that is my time with my family. On the days that I do have off, we have plans to like do fun, exciting things, and I make sure that my family never feels like they're the second option. Family should always be your first option. They're the ones that are going to be around forever and ever. Clients, I want to give you a very harsh reality that once you're gone, they are going to move on to the next best thing. And that is something that I learned with my last pregnancy, and that is something that made me kind of grow a little bit of thicker skin, is like, hey, you might not always be able to work physically on clients, so making sure that your life right now is where you want it to be, and having that family if you want to have that family, or getting married if you want to get married. Don't put things off because of your work. And I think that's something super important, because in 5 years, maybe what happens, maybe you're no longer like the hottest thing around, or maybe you're not, maybe you hurt your wrist or you break your arm and you can't work for X amount of time. Maybe there's health issues. Then you've just spent all this time building yourself up and building up this reputation, and it kind of all goes away. But if you have built a life that you love with a family that you love, that won't be taken away. And I don't want to discourage anyone that's any industry, right? You just need to make sure that you are building a life that you absolutely love and that you value within working an industry that you absolutely love. Making sure that you're putting everything into your actual personal life and your mental health is just as important or more important than, how much you put into work. Hope this really helped you guys. I wish that I had more advice when I was pregnant, especially with my first pregnancy, because it was a lot of hard learning along the way. But there are other things rather than just clients. You'll also have like mom guilt, you'll have all of that stuff. I had a destination wedding booked when I was pregnant with baby Sal. Sorry, jumping over again, back to when I was pregnant with baby Sal. I had an artist actually tell one of my destination clients that they actually had to do her bridal shower makeup, not on my team, just another artist from the tri-state area was working on her, and she was my destination bride for July 2020. So 6 months after I had baby Sal. She was a bride of mine. She's had it in the books, paying for me and my team to fly out to California, to LA. It was actually really awesome. But what this bride told me after I delivered baby Sal, she was like, oh, X, Y, and Z, I will not disclose the artist's name, said to me, oh, do you think Lauren's going to be reliable with a 6-month-old to come fly out to your wedding? And I also found that super disheartening and very hurtful for another artist to say something like that to a client of mine that I've never done anything other than be professional and show up and build a reputation that I was truly proud of. So for another artist to not only say, do you think she'll be reliable with a 6-month-old? Don't worry, I'll come. You don't even have to pay me. Just pay for my flights there and back. So she was willing to literally throw me under a bus, say that I'll come for free and work for free because all she wanted to do was work on this destination bride. But she was so willing to throw another artist who was going to be a new mother under the bus to take advantage of that. And I just truly couldn't believe that's what another person in this industry could do, because I've always surrounded myself with such amazing artists, such amazing other vendors. You will have people like that. You will have people that try to tear you down in the happiest times of your lives. And again, I'm only telling you all of this because I wish someone told me. I wish I had more realistic thoughts. And, especially with your first, anytime you're pregnant and you're happy and you're excited and you're nervous, the last things that you think are people are going to try to tear you down because of it, or, not be happy for you because maybe it's not ideal for them. So keeping your mind open to those things could happen. It happened to me. It could happen to anyone. Really understanding, Don't let anyone ruin this experience for you. It is so truly a happy experience. Let it be a happy experience. Don't let any stress come into your life because the baby feels all of that. And also it's harder on your body when you're stressed out. So always remembering, let those things go. Life moves on. You are bringing this amazing blessing into your life and really enjoy it. Take that time for yourself. And yeah, I probably won't be doing another one of these until after she's here. So I'll give you another update once we're back. I do have one more masterclass that I'm going to be doing. And I can't wait to talk more about mom life. Obviously, I'm always going to be educating you on artistry. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to get a new video about something that maybe we haven't talked about yet, write it down below in the comments. I hope this helped. I hope this really does make an impact on any of you mommies to be, or just anyone who's expecting to create a family, adopt, anything. I hope this helps. I hope I'm able to impact just even one of you and help you through any hard time that you might be going through. If you have questions about anything on the artistry end, on the business end, even personal, I am here to talk about it. Again, I've educated thousands of artists around the world, and it truly is my passion. So if you have a question, or if you want to learn something that we haven't talked about yet in these videos, please comment below. I am more than happy to educate on anything that you might have questions about. I hope you're all enjoying these videos. If you are, please like and subscribe. I will be back for more and can't wait to see you then. Bye guys.